What if we told you that the Wii U is still the best place to play all of your favorite Nintendo titles?
Wow.
Let's take a look. What are we drinking
Today we're drinking Bourbon County 2021 Brand Cherry Wood Stout Edition by Goose Island. I'm super excited for this one.
I'm excited for that one, and I'm always excited to talk about the Wii U. You know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss one of our bi-weekly uploads. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's talk about why the Wii U is still the best place to play all your favorite Nintendo titles.
Girl JLove81 and you're watching my boys gaming off the grid.
If you've been around for a while, you already know we love the Wii U. If you're new to the Gaming Off the Grid channel, then you might not know how much we love it, and there are a ton of videos explaining why. But today we're going to hone in on one specific reason, and it's the ease of access to so many Nintendo staples: Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Mario Kart,
Donkey Kong.
Yeah. All these titles crammed into one console in one place that you can play them legally. So before you fire up your little nose pickers and you say, emulate those games, don't even try it. We know you can't.
Yes.
But if you want to play the games legally on original hardware, the Wii U is the place to be.
Oh, it's a place to be. So we have 5 different Nintendo IPs we're going to talk about today. I know there's a bunch of other ones, and the Wii U has those as well, like Kirby, a ton of Kirby games, a ton of, just a bunch of, the Wii U has so much stuff. But we're going to talk about 5 different Nintendo IPs, and I think we should start with Metroid because tis the season, Metroid Dread.
Yeah. And 9 Metroid games are accessible on the Wii U, and some of these games have gotten crazy expensive. You can play Super Metroid via digital download, which, you might be saying, well, I think I can play that on the Switch too. Yeah, you know what? You probably can, but Metroid on the NES is here. So many of the Game Boy Advance Metroids are here.
Yes, so this is really cool. The Wii U doesn't have a standalone Metroid game, sadly, but it's really cool. You can play all these other old Metroid games on it. So there's 2 Game Boy Advance games on the Wii U, Metroid Zero Mission and Metroid Fusion.
And Fusion is fire. Dude, such a good game.
These games are very expensive if you want to get them physical. Like, I think they're close to $100 each, and that's just loose prices. I mean, I'm going off pricecharting.com for these prices, but that's crazy because on the eShop they're $7.99.
Yeah.
A great, easy way to play them for cheap without, being illegal.
Yeah, and I think another great value is the Metroid Prime Trilogy, which
yes.
I believe is backwards compatible, because the Wii U can play Nintendo Wii games. Now, a lot of the Metroid Prime games were GameCube games, but they're on the Metroid Prime Trilogy, which was released on the Wii.
Yes.
But you can download it. I like a $19.99?
$19.99, which is really cheap.
Because the game's like $100, I think?
Yeah, for physical. We have it, which is super nice.
Yeah.
But it's a great way to get that trilogy all in one place for super cheap. You can also play Metroid Other M and then Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, which is really cool. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, though, is not on the eShop, so if you have it physical, you can play it on your Wii U.
Yeah. So, and again, we know that the modding scene is out there, and if that's you, awesome. But these are ways, I feel like if someone today is just getting into retro gaming, and maybe they don't always have to have physical, or maybe they do. You got so many options here on the Wii U. Like, if you're looking and you're like, I have to have the physical cart for Metroid Fusion. Boy, wouldn't it be nice to take a little walk through the park and test it out, make sure you want to spend $100.
Yeah.
And so, I guess, if I were to begin collecting retro or just wanting to play retro games in 2021, it seems like such a daunting task.
Yeah, it does. But
if you get a Wii U, the barrier of entry becomes so much lower. Metroid's a great example, but I think another great example, and I would say that this is unequivocally the best video game console if you are a Zelda fan.
Yes, it is, because there's 15 different Zelda entries you can play on your Wii U. I know that the Switch is starting to offer, like, it has the NES app, the Super Nintendo app.
Yeah.
It just put in the 64 app.
Yep.
But it's still not quite up to par with what the Wii U can do.
Did they get Majora's Mask on there yet, or is it just Ocarina of Time?
I'm not sure, but I know that the 64 app is struggling.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems with it. I've had no problems with the Wii U. And I know the Wii U is not for everyone, but we love it, and it's amazing. So let's jump in to the 15 different Zelda games you can play on your Wii U. So obviously, you can play the 2 NES games. $4.99 a pop on the eShop. That's pretty good because those are about $20 each loose.
And you didn't even notice it. Dude.
Well, 'tis the season.
Natural. You're a natural.
I know. I'm a poet, and I didn't know it.
Yeah, and you're the COVID killer. So, yeah.
Boom, boom. Add that to my resume. Then you can play the Link to the Past, the Super Nintendo game. You have the 2 N64 entries, Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, all on the eShop. Great ways to play that. And then obviously you got the Wii games that are backwards compatible. Not all of them are on the eShop, but they're still backwards compatible if you have the physical.
And the Wii Zelda games are not that expensive. So you can play your Wii discs. I think all of them are under $20 if you want to get a physical copy. And you can just play them right on your Wii U. Makes it nice. And honestly, unless you want to buy a converter and all that stuff, the Wii U is the best way if you've got modern televisions to play Wii games because it's HDMI.
It's HDMI and it looks beautiful.
Yeah. We threw this on here to maybe pad our landing, tell our story a little better. The Wii crossbow training. I mean, it's a Wii game.
Oh, yeah.
I don't consider that a mainline entry in the Zelda series, but you can play it on the Wii U.
It's pretty cool. And then obviously there's a bunch of Wii U games that you can get on the Wii U. Breath of the Wild, I know it's a Switch game, but it still plays great on the Wii U because of the tablet.
And it was developed for the Wii U.
Yeah, it was. So
It plays great on both consoles.
It does. Then obviously you got the HD remakes of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker on the Wii U. We have those both physical. You can get those in the eShop. I will say Twilight Princess HD is kind of expensive in the eShop.
Yeah.
But it's kind of expensive in real life. So it's a great way to play it. It looks great in HD. And then you can play one of my favorite Zelda games because it's not really a Zelda game, it's kind of a beat 'em up. Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U is amazing. I know that there's one on the Switch. The Switch one's great, but the reason why I like the Wii U version is because if you play it 2-player, which is what we do, we're a 2-man channel, you have your own screen. One person on the TV, one person on the tablet. You can't do that on the Switch.
Yeah, if you're playing the game single player, the way to play it is on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
If you are playing it co-op, to your point, it's unequivocal that the way to play it is on the Wii U. It's a great game in the Dynasty Warriors kind of universe, but you're Zelda.
It's a badass game.
It's awesome. Zelda meets Dynasty Warriors, and it's such an amazing game.
And then it offers some handhelds. It offers Zelda the Minish Cap from the Game Boy Advance. That's $7.99 on the eShop. And then there's 2 DS entries from Zelda. There's Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, which Spirit Tracks is getting up there in price, so this is a great way to play it if you're interested in that game because it's $9.99.
And Minish Cap's a banger on the Game Boy Advance. Really expensive. I will say, from this point forward, to supply this narrative, any DS option that is on the Wii U, in my opinion, is the best way to play the game.
Yes.
Because we love the DS, love 3DS, 3DS XL, 2DS XL, but the thing is, playing things on TV for me has always been better, and the Wii U offers the only 2-screen option to be able to pull this off. I don't think we will ever see, in current Nintendo times with the Switch, a DS option because there's not 2 screens.
No, there's not 2 screens. This is literally the DS but for home console.
Yeah.
The Wii U is just so amazing, and so many people don't know it.
I will say I think Nintendo did miss a little bit of potential here because I don't think there's any 3DS games available, which at the time they were probably like, well, it can't do 3D though. But then they released the 2DS XL as one of their last console releases.
What's kind of confusing though about that is if you go to the Wii U eShop, I think the 3DS has the same eShop as the Wii U.
Yeah.
So you can see the games, but it says 3DS download only. And it's like, but it's there.
You know? And the selection, I would say the eShop for the Wii U is way better than the Switch eShop. Yeah. But the selection for DS games is just, it's okay at best. A lot of bangers missing. Like Contra 4 never made it on there. How does that happen? Some of the Castlevania games never made it on there.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
There is a lot of them though on the eShop.
There is. And it's for the ones that are on there, best way to play DS games.
It's amazing. Now let's move on to another Nintendo IP. There's 13 entries of Donkey Kong on the Wii U.
And there's some like sidewinders too.
Yeah, there's some honorable mentions that are kind of weird. So obviously there's 3 NES games you can play. Donkey Kong on the NES, Donkey Kong 3, and then Donkey Kong Jr. It's just really cool. You can play those retro games. And then you can play all 3 of the Donkey Kong Country games on the Wii U. Then you can play Donkey Kong 64. Then you can play all the Wii games because they're backwards compatible. I will say that one of the games, Donkey Kong Barrel Blast, is not on the eShop. So if you have it physical, you can play it on your Wii U. It's weird how it's like not everything is on there, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I think they probably just went with like, I don't know, like the player select-ish type games. And Barrel Blast definitely did not do like as well as Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Yeah.
Tropical Freeze, I for whatever reason, I could be totally wrong. I don't think it's on the eShop, but it was a Wii U game.
Yeah, which is so weird because it's a great game.
Yeah, but
it's a beautiful game.
It's amazing. It's also been ported to the Switch. Both are awesome. I can't really say why you would rather play one or the other, but it is available. And then you got all the handheld offerings.
Yes, which is cool. You got Donkey Kong King of Swing from the Game Boy Advance, and then Donkey Kong Jungle Climbers on the DS. Those games are about $15 loose if you want the real cart, but on the eShop, it's $6.99 for the Game Boy Advance version, and then $9.99 for the DS version. And then there's all these weird, like, Mario versus Donkey Kong games that I think are kind of honorable mentions. There's 3 of those in there. I don't know much about those games. I've never played them, but it's kind of cool that they offer them.
Well, I think right before we started filming, you were telling me that the Mario Donkey Kong Tipping Stars is a Wii U exclusive, but only got a physical release in Europe, I think you said?
Yes, it's only available in the PAL regions, which is weird. So the only way, if you're in America, to play that game, it's on the Wii U eShop. So that's another reason, you know?
And, Nintendo fans out there, there's a character that I think you probably have heard of. Mario! A lot of Mario games available on the Wii U.
A ton of Mario games.
So I think I kind of prematurely kind of crowned the king when I was like, Zelda, blah, 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 15 titles. And Mario's like, listen here, son, your 15 titles can get the hell out of my ring because I have 22 titles on the Wii U. Oh, wow. Hell yeah.
So there's 22 mainline Mario games on the Wii U available. There's a ton of spin-offs. There's the Mario Parties. Yeah. There's the Mario Sports. There's Mario and Luigi does whatever they want to do in their free time. There's a lot of all this other stuff you could... But straight line Mario games, there's 22 of them you can play on the Wii U, which I love my Mario games. So you have all the NES entries. Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3. Dr. Mario, and you even have Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels, which the only way to get that is on the Wii U.
Yeah.
There's not a physical of that.
No, well, at least on the NES. So you can play it on the Super Nintendo, and then they also re-released the exact same game in a new sort of package on the Wii. But as Mario 2. That's what some people will say is the real Mario 2. I still argue that our Mario 2, at least when we're in America, that's our Mario 2. I don't care if it's everybody else's Mario 2. I like that Mario 2. But nonetheless, Lost Levels, which we'll keep calling it that. I'm not going to call it Mario 2.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you got Super Mario World and Super Mario RPG. Very sweet Super Nintendo games. So if you don't have access to play those physical, it's a great way to play those on the Wii U.
And the Super Nintendo Super Mario RPG is getting insane. It's like an $80 game.
Yeah, it's so expensive. And then you have Super Mario 64 and then Paper Mario 64, which I will say Paper Mario 64 is getting up there too.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah, the gap on the Wii U, unless it has like a Wii version, happens at the GameCube.
Yeah.
That's where the gap comes in because we jump from the N64 all the way to the Wii via backwards compatibility. Super Paper Mario on the Wii, the Mario Galaxy games, which are amazing, new Super Mario Brothers Wii, and then you get into the Wii U entries, which, holy hell, I know the Wii U struggled, but Mario 3D World...
Oh, it's an amazing game.
Just perfection.
It's such a great family multiplayer game.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And then I think people were tired by the time new Super Mario Bros. Wii U came out.
Yeah. I feel like I remember in this era when this stuff was coming out, they put it out on the Wii. So you got new Super Mario Bros. Wii, and then 3D World, and then new Super Mario Bros. Wii U, and it was just like...
And then they had 2 of them on the DS, I believe.
Yeah, it was just...
They got tired.
It was too much. It was too much. But if you go back and play them now, they're really fun games.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And then you get into handheld stuff. On the Game Boy Advance, you have Super Mario Advance, Super Mario Advance 2, Super Mario Advance 4. Don't know why they skipped 3.
Yeah, but it's weird that 3 is not on the eShop.
And I'm trying to remember, one of these, someone told me there's like some extra levels in Mario 3 that were not in the original or something like that.
So that's another reason to go check those out.
Yeah, we're not experts on that because I haven't still. I know I need to, and I downloaded one of these because one of the viewers said, hey, you need to get this, and I did. Just haven't played it yet. My bad.
It's insane.
Yeah.
There's 22 Mario entries on the Wii U. If you like Mario at all and you have a Wii U, get these games.
Yeah, and then you go into the DS, and like this may be the best way to play Mario 64. Mario 64 DS. pretty solid. And then New Super Mario Bros. They don't have the second one because that was a 3DS entry, and I don't think there's any 3DS entries on the Wii U.
Nope.
But holy shnikes. And then there are some other like side, stuff. Your Mario Karts. There's a great litany of those you can play.
I think there's about 6 or 7 different Mario Karts. Super Nintendo, there's the N64 version. There's some handheld Mario Karts you can play, which is so cool. And then all the Mario Sports, Mario Tennis, Mario Strikers, I think. It's the Wii version, but still really cool. Mario Tennis, there's a ton of Mario Parties.
Yeah.
Smash Bros.
You got the Mario Luigi Superstar Saga on Game Boy Advance, Mario Luigi Partners in Time. That's a DS game. The list goes on, but in the essence of time, we don't want to go too crazy.
Yeah.
I think we've given you enough to understand the point that having access to this many mainline Nintendo franchises in one place is pretty insane, and it kind of really sheds light, in my opinion, on how lackluster in the Nintendo Switch's life cycle. I'll give them a pass on DS stuff because I don't know how you do DS stuff on a single screen. But why is there not a Game Boy Advanced app? They got the N64 app out, but it's kind of dog shit. And then the other apps, it's just like they're just... And then why can't, in the eShop, whether they have the app or not, you just download the goddamn games?
Yeah, true. I don't know what Nintendo's doing with the Switch. I mean, obviously...
They're killing
it.
Yeah.
And they're making a ton of money, so maybe, I don't know. But the Wii U is so underrated, and I will say, if you're ever interested in the Wii U, now is the time. And all the stuff we're talking about, a lot of this was eShop stuff. Guys, the shop will probably be closing soon. So this episode will be kind of time-stamped.
Yeah.
So once that shop is closed, you're not going to be able to get these games.
My mind really, really, really goes to the DS. If you're a Zelda fan and a Metroid fan and you've always wanted to play those games but you never have because either A, you don't have a DS, B, you can't afford the games now on the DS, all sorts of reasons, you can play these games. You can at least play them for a very reasonable amount.
And they look beautiful. We mentioned it at the beginning of the episode, but there's all the Contra games, there's the Castlevania games, there's a lot of Mega Man games, there's Kirby games, there's so many other amazing franchises that you can get. Like, there's DS entries, there's early entries. The eShop is crazy on the Wii U. There's a ton of other retro titles on the Wii U that aren't necessarily Nintendo IPs. There's also TurboGrafx 16 on the Wii U, which is so crazy. Every time I open the Wii U eShop, I go down a rabbit hole.
You get excited.
There's so much cool stuff.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Some guys watch porn. Robert just hangs out in the Wii U eShop.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
I'm one of not many.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, I think the point has been made. If you still have a Wii U laying around and this has never dawned on you, especially like things like the TurboGrafx 16, it's not blatantly obvious that those games are available.
No, it's not, because there's not a tile for it.
Yeah.
It's under Virtual Console, which has everything in it, and the TurboGrafx 16 is just mixed in there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of we've already talked about that in a different episode, but there's a lot of really cool TurboGrafx 16 games that are cheap. So if you want to play those, just extra value.
But point being, if you're a Zelda fan, if you're a Metroid fan, if you are a Mario fan,
yes,
and you need a Donkey Kong fan, if you're a Donkey Kong fan.
That's 4 yeses.
Yeah. And maybe a bunch of other things, fans.
That's fine.
The Wii U is the place to be. It really is. And a lot of this stuff, we have a Wii U eShop closing episode if you want to go check that out. But I think you've already made the point. The clock is ticking.
Yes.
On some of these options. But nonetheless, I think it's time to talk about this brewski.
Yes, this is Bourbon County 2021 brand Cherry Wood Stout Edition. So this is a variant of their Bourbon County. This is our third Bourbon County beer we've had in a row. We're getting spoiled. 'Tis the season. This is a stout aged in bourbon barrels and finished with cherry wood. So it's just a simple variant.
Yeah. And this may be the last variant we cover on the channel because it's the only other one we've been able to find as of right now. Yeah. What do you think, man?
So good.
Yeah.
So smooth. So tasty. Bourbon County is so good. I know we said that in other episodes. This beer is incredible. And then that cherry wood just adds just a nice, fruit element, but not too much. And it just, smooths it out. It smooths out the beer, and it's just
It was like they went like this.
Yeah, just sprinkled smoothness. I will say that we're reviewing it on the channel for the first time, but this is our third bottle
I
of it.
think so, yeah.
Already. It's beginning of December, and this is our third one we've had. That's how good this is.
Yeah, it's a really good variant. You know, it's definitely up there with the just traditional Goose Island Bourbon County Stout. I think I probably like this slightly more than the 2021 variant of the Bourbon County Stout.
Even though they're very similar.
Yeah.
Because this is just flavored with
Yeah.
cherry wood. But I would agree. This is so good. So good,
Top
so
shelf.
smooth. I will say that the variants are more expensive than the regular, but the regular is really good.
Damn,
So
yeah, it's hammer.
This is such a good beer, and it makes me feel in the mood for the holidays. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it like always comes out. I think like the day after Thanksgiving is when they release
And
it
then
in
it's
stores.
like Christmas tree. Let's drink Bourbon County and watch Home Alone.
Yeah,
That's what we've been doing.
Became a family tradition around here.
Hello.
Anyways, guys, hopefully we shed a little light for you on why the Wii U can still be relevant in 2021. I really think if you're not wanting to overspend on some of these games, the Wii U offers such a cheap access point to the games.
Yeah.
Aside from emulation, we've already talked about that. And I also think if you're just jumping in to retro, and you're like, God, there's so much I need to play.
And it's expensive.
And I want to acquire all this stuff. It can be a stopgap until maybe you can acquire it, but you can still play it. And playing the games is what really matters. And if you're an emulation person, awesome. Good for you. But not everybody is. Some people like playing on something that says Nintendo on it.
Yep.
The Wii U provides that outlet for gamers. Still to this day, in 2021, and probably does it a little better than the Nintendo Switch.
Ooh, hot take.
Zinger! We'll see you next time, right here on Gaming Off the Grid. And the Wii Zelda games, a great options, was still the best place to play all your favorite Nintendo titles. Yeah. Okay. This whack?
Yep.
Oh yeah, a little cherry wood. What?
So good. So smooth.
'Tis the season. Just tastes like Christmas. You've got the Super Mario Advanced